afternoon, Packers fans. Aaron Nagler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It is Monday. Hope you all had a phenomenal weekend. Watching the NFL kind of not be as good as the Packers. That was my takeaway from the weekend. Your mileage may vary, but man, watching the rest of the league, all I can do is think, you know what? Packers are pretty darn good. Obviously, culminating in last night's game there in Minnesota, which essentially set back the forward pass by 100 years. Wow, that was a tough game to watch. But the Packers come out of week 2 looking pretty damn good. Obviously, a couple games left tonight. Very interested in that Texans-Buccaneers game. Couldn't have the Chiefs do us a favor by beating the Eagles. Definitely rooting for the Texans to do us a favor and beat the Bucs. Got to get all those NFC contenders some losses. But man, I know I'm getting old, but there's a game at 10 o'clock Eastern tonight. 10 o'clock Eastern. Man, I'm too old for this. Can we just have more afternoon games on Sundays, please? 10 p.m. I know I'm getting old. I'm sure 25-year-old Aaron would have been loving life with a 10 p.m. kickoff, but holy cow. And my kids are old, grown. Like, I don't even have to get up that early and like deal with a baby or a toddler or anything like that, which was always tough, when I was a father of young kids. But now my kids are old and they got their own stuff, and like it's easy. I don't have to get out of bed that early, so it's like I could stay up and watch it. But 10 p.m. All right, I digress. The Packers looking good. Back on the practice field today. We heard from Matt LaFleur. Couple of injuries of note. Obviously, the offensive linemen, I think, are going to be the headlines throughout the week. Aaron Banks and Zach Tom both did not participate in today's practice. Matt LaFleur saying he will give them both the week, which is usually code for, they're probably not going to play. Now, who knows how the rest of the week unfolds. They have their regular off day tomorrow, and then they'll back on the practice field Wednesday. We'll get the first injury report Wednesday afternoon. Who knows how that transpires, but the fact that they were complete non-participants early in the week is never a great sign, but you never know. Surprises happen. Bo Melton, again, did not practice, which I will say, one of the notes coming out of that game that you can probably draw a direct line from when it comes to injuries is Bo Melton's absence on special teams was duly noted. They definitely missed him as a gunner and a couple other areas. Hopefully, he can get back out there sooner rather than later because his presence is sorely needed on teams. But the guy I really wanted to talk to or about today is Edgerrin Cooper, who, going back and watching not only last Thursday night's game, but going back and watching the week 1 game against Detroit as well. Man, you talk about that year 1 to year 2 jump. We talk about it each and every offseason during the summer about guys having to do the work themselves. There's no magic formula. It doesn't automatically happen. You certainly hope that a guy, is a little bit kind of more rooted into the playbook in year 2 and knows the assignments and able to stop thinking and just play and react on defense especially. That certainly seems to be occurring. And I think it's got, a big part of that kind of work is done in the offseason by the player. Cooper certainly has hit the ground running here in year 2 in the NFL. Last year, it was almost a weekly theme where you could see some athletic play, some really great play from Cooper week in and week out. Towards the end of the year, he was notching double-digit sacks almost every week, culminating in a offensive rookie of the month award. But you would also hear from LaFleur after almost every single game about missed assignments, misalignments, out of position, etc. I'm not saying he's been perfect through these first 2 weeks, but man, it is night and day as far as his ability to kind of trigger within the defensive scheme, play his assignment until he knows what exactly is occurring on the play, and then making a beeline for the football. His explosiveness is such a great eraser when it comes to any kind of design to try and get the ball away from him. And you could see that a couple of times with the Commanders' approach. You're not going to get into too many more of these games in the NFL where teams are not specifically trying to stay away from Edgerrin Cooper because, man, like I said, his athleticism, his sideline to sideline ability is becoming a big time eraser. And it's something we've seen from other teams over the course of the last decade plus. And I know lots of Packers fans have thought, we need to get us one of those. The Packers got themselves one of those in Edgerrin Cooper, and it's exciting. And I'm not gonna short shrift his running mate. Quay Walker helps in a big way. The two of them together have been fun to watch so far. Hopefully, lots more to come, even more growth along this 2025 season. But man, Edgerrin Cooper, I'm close to saying he was the prince that was promised at inside backer for the Green Bay Packers. Exciting stuff, and hopefully we see more of it in Cleveland on Sunday. Hello, everybody in the comment section. So good to see everybody mixing it up. Uncultured is here, man. You know it's going to be a good day when Uncultured Barbarian is in the mix. Before we get going, let's give a shout out to our friends over at ThedaCare. ThedaCare is a proud sponsor of Cheesehead TV, and they want to make sure your health is in championship form. With more than 115 years of trusted care and a team of experts in over 60 specialities, ThedaCare keeps athletes and fans alike game day ready, because winning starts with wellness. Check out thedacare.org for more information. Or indeed, there is a link in the description of this video. All right, folks, what's going on? What's on your mind? Uncultured. What's going on, man? Start with you. Thanks to the super chat. It's amazing how the Bears went from tormenting the Packers in my youth to being the team that is who we thought they were. Yeah, it's hard not to look at the Bears through the first 2 weeks and just sit back and smile at how predictable this all was. You know, that is an organization that has just not figured it out in any meaningful way over the course of the last, 2 decades? It's crazy to me that every offseason, Bears fans are so excited and adamant that this is the year and this is the time that they're going to turn it around. Then you get 2 weeks into the season and you're pretty much kind of set on a path of, well, maybe they'll win 5 games, 6 if they're lucky. It's nothing changes, man. It is ownership. It is the franchise. And nothing's going to change until the root of that, franchise, the root cause of all their misery changes. And that's ownership. But in the meantime, they'll have another off-season championship banner to hang, and the Packers will continue on with the business of winning football games, because that is the difference between the two. Mimsy, thanks for the super chat. Appreciate you. Ken Rosenthal is a dweeb. I don't know how I feel about the Euchre Santa letter. Great to see the NFC Player of the Week return to draft bus form. Go Pack, go. It's a lot of non-Packer stuff there, Mimsy. Ken Rosenthal, never met the man. Certainly not a good look for him there in Milwaukee the other day. The Euchre Santa letter, yeah, that was a bit over the top. I think misguided is the right word. Didn't love the idea. Didn't love the execution. I thought, why do you need to play on Euchre's memory more than you already have throughout this season? It's enough. The people, the fans, we have that connection with Euchre. You already had a monster, huge Euchre day just a couple weeks ago. You don't need to hit it over the head. You don't need to beat a dead horse, especially with something that special, that being the relationship fans have with Bob Euchre. Yeah, I thought that was a pretty significant misstep. That's just me. Mileage may vary, but I'm kind of with you on that one. Ed, thanks for the super chat, man. Dr. Nagler, yesterday I felt sympathy for Bears fans. Brief, but still, it was concerning. Ed, I would have that looked at post-haste. Can't be having empathy for Bears fans. Look, there's a lack of empathy in this world in general, but if there is one area where it is justified, it is with Bears fans. Aaron Harper, thanks for the super chat. Bears look like the same old Bears, still suck. We got a lot of Bears comments here today. I mean, I understand they played and looked terrible, and it's kind of fun to enjoy the Schadenfreude, but yeah, man, they're so insignificant. I don't know. Don't need to spend that much time on them. That's just me. But I hear you. Joe, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. Last year, Coop at times reminded me of first-year Parsons when he was still playing a lot of outside or on the ball, off the ball linebacker. Never dreamed Packers would end up with both of them. That's the other thing. It is kind of interesting how, with the arrival of Micah Parsons and so much attention and kind of fanfare, rightfully so, with Micah Parsons' arrival and his play on the field already in limited work, he is the Batman at the moment. And it kind of feels like Edgerrin Cooper should be his own Batman, but he is kind of the Robin to that duo. But the two of them are going to wreck offenses for years. And that, if you're a Packers fan, is the most exciting development of this season so far. Absolutely. Ryan Willie. Oh, Ryan Willie throwing it down right here, right off the gate, right off the bat. 2-0 on the way to 17-0. Damn, Ryan. As C3PO once said, I wish I had your confidence. I mean, look, let's just beat the Browns. The Packers look damn good, though. I will give you that. Evan, thank you for the super chat, sir. Hell yes, Ticket King. I got a great deal on my first game, Packers-Bears in Green Bay. Talk to me about tailgating. Got any tips? P.S. I bought Coop jersey. Well, as you should. Tailgating, man, just hit up lot 1, but make sure you take it all in. Get there as early as you can. I'd say 3-4 hours before kickoff. Make sure you try to experience all of it, because there is a growing, I want to say, bit of a divide when it comes to like the Titletown side, which is very much the more corporate aspect of the game day vibe, arrival, whatever. That's where Titletown is. Obviously, the Packers control a lot of that, almost all of it now. Whereas on the other side, when you go to lot 1 and past it to like the D2 stadium view and doozies part of stuff, man, that's a party. And that is people throwing down outside the corporate gaze, if you will. It's all great. It's all wonderful. My favorite vibe is lot 1, but you really can't go wrong all the way around the stadium. But try to take it all in, because there's a lot to take in, and it's all phenomenal, especially on game day. How about empathy for Simone Biles? I got empathy for having to endure wearing Bears gear in public. How about that? Adrian Wright, how are you? Thanks for the super chat. I have 36 cans of Carry the G that I'll be bringing to Muni Lot on Sunday. Anyone at the game should look for a guy in a Cheesehead and Go Pack Go license plate chain for a free Carry the G and brat. Adrian, that's amazing. You're the man. That's what I like to hear. You heard him. Muni Lot on Sunday. Look for the Cheesehead and the Go Pack Go license plate chain for a free Carry the G and a brat. 36 cans. Let's get that gone by kickoff. That's amazing, dude. I mean, if you're in that area, I wish I could be there, man. I haven't been to Cleveland since probably the last time the Packers played, when I believe it was Brett Hundley at quarterback. The overtime touchdown to Devontae Adams, who just ran right into the locker room. Good times. Good times. Porkmaster, how you doing, man? Thanks for super chat. Weird that Detroit can't do that against a real team. It is interesting, isn't it? Now, some of it is also they're playing at home. Like, there's some context there. But, yeah, if they can play the Bears every week, they'll be a juggernaut. No question. Soder, how are you, man? Thanks for super chat. Very excited for Savion Williams Ultra Bobblehead Day. Is happy hour on 9:15 or Tuesday asking for Eddie? 9:15 or Tuesday. Did I write it in the post? Because it's tomorrow. So I put the 15th down. It's Tuesday. Tuesday at 6 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Lambeau time. What else we got here? Dylan, how you doing, man? Thanks for the super chat. My trust issues have trust issues when it comes to defense, but where has Heffley been all my life? Why didn't anyone tell me defense could be fun? That is the thing, Dylan. You guys know I spent all summer saying I'll believe it when I see it. I've seen it. I believe it. And yes, Heffley has certainly turned up the heat, as it were, but not by dialing up like huge exotic blitzes. When he does send numbers, there's a reason. There's so much that goes into it as far as tendencies for the offense, what they think works well with their personnel. Man, it's an exciting time when the defense takes the field, and that has not been the case in Green Bay, Wisconsin for a very long time. Very, very long time. Mike Witt, how you doing, man? Thanks for the super chat. Hey, Nags, I am so excited the way the season has started, and just think the way the schedule lays out, their next division game is in November, and Reed and Watson will be back probably. Crazy. I think Watson most certainly has the best chance of being back. Reed, I think that's probably a bit early, but we'll see. We'll see. I know it's the timelines have been reported, all this stuff, but I do know Watson was in the locker room today talking like he would play this weekend if he could. So, yeah, I'm very excited to see Christian Watson and Matthew Golden on a football field together. I think Matt LaFleur is going to rain hellfire on teams once those two are in the mix. It's going to be a lot of fun. Lori, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. Can we start a GoFundMe to make Hafley the highest paid defensive coordinator so you won't want to leave? Go Pack Go, and new Liney owners suck. I appreciate that, Lori. Look, it's a corporate thing. It's not even a question of ownership. It's corporate America. That's all that is. As for the GoFundMe and Hafley, I've seen the running joke of we need to start rumors about Jeff Hafley so teams don't want him to be their coach or face of their franchise, what have you. I know most people have already kind of resigned themselves to the idea that Hafley will be gone this offseason after 2 games. Let's see how the season plays out. But yeah, it certainly doesn't feel like he's going to be around in Green Bay for very long. And look, kudos to him. Outstanding work coming in and turning around a defense that was, look, for all the frustrations with Joe Barry, it's not like they were bottom 10. They were a middling 15, sometimes hovering around top 10. But, man, it has certainly been night and day. And the biggest difference, without the Micah Parsons thing even, has been play style. It's something that we've heard from Matt LaFleur for years. It's the first time I've ever seen the defense look like what Matt has described when he talks about what he wants on the defensive side of the football, right? Man, yeah, Hafley's come in and done the work. Now, another component there, though, is he has been given some really talented players. Like Brian Gutekunst enters into this mix, and you want to talk about wherever they might head by the end of this year. Maybe there's an owner out there who would pull the trigger, but then looks at, say, Staley coming out of the, time with the Rams and then going and becoming a head coach with the Chargers. And, he didn't get to take Aaron Donald with him. And, they bumble along with him for a bit before they fire him, right? And I'm not saying he's a bad coach, no, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But maybe, just maybe, because of the Micah Parsons trade and because of what that does to turbocharge the defense in Green Bay, maybe that gives an owner pause. Well, they can't bring Micah Parsons with him, right? That's my hope. That's the one shred of hope you can hang on to as a Packers fan this year, that maybe we get Hafley for another season. I'm not saying it's a good hope. I'm not saying it's a great hope. I'm just saying it's a hope. It's a sliver of hope. That's all I got. Other than that, he's probably gone. Cheeto, thanks for the super chat, man. I hope the Romeo Dobbs bobblehead is Spaceballs dark helmet sized. You went over my helmet? So good. Evan, thanks for the super chat, man. Packers worked out Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Malik Willis trade incoming? I don't know, man. I don't think it's anything even remotely close to that. I think it's just the Packers doing what they always do as far as keeping their emergency lists up to date, always making sure that the bottom of the roster is able to be churned when necessary. I don't think Malik Willis is going to go anywhere. We'll see, though. Doesn't mean teams haven't called. I don't know. I haven't heard that. But I would suspect for a team like the Packers, who traded away assets to get Micah Parsons, clearly all in to win it at least this and next year, to trade away a security blanket like Malik Willis, who has gotten them through games already in his tenure in Green Bay, yeah, I'd be shocked. Nah, I've been shocked before. I was shocked when they traded for Micah Parsons, but I would be very shocked. What else we got here, folks? Dylan, thanks again, man. Pack-A-Day has started a smear campaign so we can keep Hafley. Speaking of which, I heard he eats his pizza crust first. Now, one of my daughters does that. Let's be nice and be open-minded and tolerant of the people unlike us. Mike Witt, how you doing, man? Bought my first jersey in a long time today. P.S. I got a Micah jersey. Curly would be proud watching number 1 out there. Thank you, Jerry. It is cool. I will say, I didn't know what I'd think, old man Nagler, about watching him in 1 and Golden in 0, but I do dig it. I got to admit, it is pretty damn cool. Paul, you might be right. Maybe Hafley wants to stay. It's entirely possible. I would suspect he'd jump at the chance to be a head coach, but you never know. Ben Johnson stuck around in Detroit for years when there were overtures and even offers being made. So It's entirely possible. I'm not saying it's impossible. Just saying probably unlikely, but we'll see. Let's beat the Browns first. Ryan, thanks to the super chat, man. I could do what Leroy Butler did back in the day when he predicted 19-0. I could say 20-0. I think I just did. You could do that. Man, look, it's just high times right now in Green Bay, and I don't want to, put cold water on anybody's enthusiasm. But look, they're on the road for the first time this Sunday, right? And they're going against a pretty damn tough defensive front. Anything can happen. Let's beat the Browns. Jason, what's up, man? Do you think Matt could use a Kevin Berry package this season? Oh, I love this idea. A little jumbo, a little U71. I'm all for it, man, especially now that they're getting, Belton some reps here. Now, he's played the majority of that Commanders game, and it sounds like he'll play again on Sunday in Cleveland. Like with all that experience he's getting, let's get a package out there where you go heavy and you run behind him, right? I am down with that. JK, what's up, man? What is our cap situation after the Parsons trade? Are we screwed? No, not at all. They're actually really good for the next 3 years. After that, they will undoubtedly renegotiate that contract. They will have some kind of restructure and or new kind of deal after the 3 years. But those first 3 years, this year in particular, is insane. His cap hit is less than $10 million this year. And then next year it jumps up to like 20 something. And then I think 30 the third year, but nothing they can't handle. And they still have plenty of maneuverability. Now, they will undoubtedly have to let guys go and or walk. Like that is part of the gig. Probably Rasheed Walker will be a free agent this offseason, probably Romeo Dobbs, etc. But they are certainly not, quote, screwed. They're not in cap hell. They can do plenty of maneuvering as far as adjusting other contracts, doing a little bit of credit card debt, so to speak, kicking cans, much like they did at the end of the Aaron Rodgers tenure. But no, they are not screwed at all. Does Cheesehead TV have a thank you, Jerry shirt? We do not, though that is probably a great idea. We do have a thanks, Jerry Packers fence right across the street from Lambeau that you've probably seen on a couple of different broadcasts. Good times. Carter, thank you for the super chat. That is unbelievably generous. Can't even fathom how generous that is. Thank you so much. Halfley sees a child's lemonade stand and doesn't stop. See, he's just a jerk. You don't want him to be your head coach. I like where your head's at, man. Cheeto, thanks for the super chat, man. Halfley was a head coach at the college level. He has spoken about the red tape when wearing the crown as a negative. That's a very different environment, though, especially in college nowadays with the transfer portal and everything that entails, the recruiting aspect of it. It's a very different world. He's also talked about the jump from back into the NFL and being able to concentrate just on football. Now, of course, head coach at the NFL level, there's still attendant stuff outside of football that you've got to deal with. You are the head, and I've talked about this a lot. You are the head of a program, right? And everything is answering to you and for you. So yes, there is a bunch of red tape / kind of auxiliary shit you got to deal with, but not in the way you do it at the college level. Like, I'm not surprised to see so many college coaches jumping kind of back into the NFL because there is just, especially now, it's such the wild west of this transition from players never getting paid to now NIL and now their salary caps. It's just such a monster transition period for college football. Not surprised to watch all these college coaches to try and get back into the NFL. Mike Witt, thanks for the super chat, man. Watching that Cowboys-Giants game yesterday, Jordan going to destroy that defense. Hell, they made 108-year-old Russell Wilson look like an all-pro. There were a lot of games yesterday that I was watching thinking the Packers are going to roll against these guys. Like, I don't think I saw a team yesterday that worries me when it comes to the Packers being able to score points or stop them on defense. Every team's going to give you their best. Every week is tough. You got to go 1-0. Totally understand. But man, champions fear no one, and especially don't fear anybody after watching the games this weekend. My goodness. Menace, what's up, man? Thanks for super chat. I think Quay right now, at least, a lot of ball game left, is going to give Goody a real tough decision to make this offseason. Might not even wait till this offseason. I think it might come in season. I think they just, have said they want him to be a core member of their defense and or football team. You can make that happen if you want to make it happen, and I think they will. Juice Wayne, what's up? Maybe Hafley ends up being Spags? Possible, Juice, but you got to remember Spags went and was a head coach for a while before becoming the Spags we know now in Kansas City. I mean, but some guys are really well suited to being coordinators. It's all good. And Carter, I thought that might be a mistake, so don't worry, man. I'll send it back your way. All is well. All right, buddy, I got to get going. I cannot thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a monster favor. Hit like on the channel. Hell, hit subscribe. And then tell your friends and tell your family, Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great night. Go Pack Go.